Awesome Sauce Network's coverage of Computex 2016 has been overclocked by Gigabyte, Fantex, CableMod, and G.Skill, making the contents of this video highly unstable. Click the links in the description for more info. Alright guys, I'm now at the EVGA booth. They've got video cards. GTX 1070. Woo! This is actually the first 1070 that Paul and I have seen here at Computex. Granted, we've only been to 4 booths, but this is really exciting. You can see that they've got a completely new redesign for their cooler. This is ACX 3.0, which aims to be 10% cooler and 30% quieter. So good cooling performance, better cooling performance, as well as acoustics under load. You can see that it's got like a lot of like metal plating on it, and I actually really like the design, along with a mesh kind of material. Just really stylish. Kind of looks a little bit sporty. So I'm really liking the metal design here. It's also on the front here. You've got some white LEDs that are going to illuminate the EVGA GeForce branding right there. And you've also got, you can see here, we're basically using a reference PCB because you've got the single 8-pin PCIe connector. You've got your SLI fingers. You've got a really nice backplate that just comes included with the card. And I think that's really nice. Also, again, with a little bit of the mesh accents there, kind of just continuing the theme. Pretty beefy heatsink, and actually it's got a nice weight to it, which I actually like. And you got your pretty much standard configuration for all your display IOs there. Why don't we go ahead and put this down, and I will be right back with another card. Alright, so now we have pretty much the exact same card, but totally different. So we're still using the ACX 3.0 cooler here, but it's the GTX 1080. So obviously faster clock speeds, better performance there, but pretty much looks very identical to the 1070. And you still get the back plates, of course. By the way, this is the super clock edition. I should probably mention that. It does come factory overclocked. So you get faster performance straight out of the box, but of course you can even push that further in precision, for example. Again, single 8-pin PCIe. EVGA also has their For the Win edition if you want to crank things up even further. This one features RGB LEDs on the front as well as on the front branding right there. Looks really beautiful actually. It's a slightly bigger card because they're actually rocking a custom PCB, which is why they have 2 8-pin PCIe connectors on it. So it is going to require a bit more juice, but it's going to get you a bit more performance out of it as well. Moving right along here, our next card up is the GTX 1080 Classified. And Classified has been around with the EVGA family for quite some time now, but now it's getting the GTX 1080 treatment. So this is just a beast of a card. This is, I think is this the same size as the For the Win? A little bit bigger. It's actually even a little bit bigger for the than the For the Win edition, but still just super sexy. It's got some like red mesh material on the front there, as well as on the back by the back plate as well. You've got two huge fans that are going to be doing all your thermal dissipation with those heat sinks down beneath. You also do have 2 8-pin PCIe connectors right there for your power delivery. Altogether an excellent card, but they've even done some cool tricks with this as well, adding in a power adapter. This is the PowerLink, I believe. Basically what this does is, you can see I've got a live demo right here. I'm all prepared and set up. You plug that in right there to your PCIe connectors, and on the side it's just an adapter, so you can actually plug in your cables from the side of the card to give your entire system a nice cleaner cable management treatment there. So, and if you look over here, there's a EVGA logo at the front. When you do plug it in, that will actually light up when powered on, and it will light up white because I was going to say white power, but let's not go there. And then also from EVGA, they've got these new high bandwidth bridges. So these are some fatty bridges right here. Right, and they're obviously going to be essential if you want to take full advantage of the throughput speeds that SLI is going to provide you with the GTX 1080, for example. And additionally, they're switching things up. Quite literally, because there's a switch. So you've got 4 different colors on this bad boy. You've got white, blue, green, and red. RGB, essentially. Not RGB in the 16.8 million color sense, but you get red, blue, green, and white, and there's just a switch on the bottom here. You can switch between them. Very cool stuff. And finally, we've got the hybrid GTX 1080. If you guys are familiar with the 980 Ti hybrid that EVGA put out not too long ago, very popular card, very well performing, overclocks like a beast, and it stays super cool because it's got an integrated AIO, just like this one. So pretty much the same deal here. You are getting super awesome power delivery. You've got 2 PCIe 8-pin PCIe connectors there. Just a beautiful aesthetic as well. You've got a single fan that kind of disperses heat from the inside and exhausts out the back there. Maybe a little bit out the sides as well. Switching gears really quick here, let's take a look at the DG87. If you guys watched any of my CES coverage from this year, you probably saw this case or something that looked very similar to it. It was kind of more of a prototype at that point, but now they've made some revisions, taken all the opinions and feedback from the community and actually implemented a lot of those changes to make a more polished and more lovable case, so to speak. So it's got a lot of cool features in it. It's got full hardware support. It's got HDMI on the front, which really appealed to me because I like VR so much, and now you can actually link up a VR headset, for example, to the front of your case instead of having to reach behind. It's also got just a lot of airflow in it. It comes with 8 fans, I believe, pre-installed. I also wanted to mention that they have a little LED readout at the bottom of the case, and you can switch between looking at your thermals, or you can change your fan speed and things like that, which is really handy. And there's also a K button. So I think the K boost is essentially going to overclock your GPU, your CPU, and it's going to ramp up your fans in your system all at the same time. So that's actually a really cool feature if you're just looking for a one-stop shop, quick button to accelerate all the things in your system. But also really exciting was EVGA's pricing on this. Even though they're still kind of wrestling with exactly what they're going to go with, they said the price range that they're looking at right now is anywhere from $170 to $230, which is really competitively priced for all the features you're getting. But that's pretty much it for EVGA here, guys. Be sure to check out Paul's channel as well. He's got a lot more coverage there. But that's all for now for this video. Be sure to like it and stay tuned for more tech stuff coming really soon at Computex 2016. By the way, guys, my Computex coverage of 2016 is brought to you by Gigabyte,
G-Skill. Cable management?
Cable Mod, Joe! Cable Mod! And
Fantex.
yes, so thank you guys for sponsoring this trip and for making it possible. It's been a really great time. If you guys watching this video want to show them some love, check the links in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.